get the G serum ready.
Alright you guys, we have to talk about Green Goblin in Marvel's Spider-Man 3. Green Goblin is one of the most iconic Spider-Man villains and is easily my favorite Spider-Man villain. It's no surprise here that Norman Osborn's Green Goblin will in fact be the big villain of Marvel's Spider-Man 3. Anytime Norman was on screen for Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Insomniac found a way to tease it by shoving the color green into every frame. Also, Norman does tease the G serum at the end of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. But there's a lot riding on this third game that will be wrapping up the entire trilogy. Nailing Green Goblin will be essential to sticking the landing for this trilogy, and I have a ton of ideas. But before I swing into my ideas, I just want to say if you're new to the channel and enjoy Marvel games, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because that is what we are all about on my channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into today's video. Alright, so one of the big debates between fans going around is what kind of Green Goblin are we going to get in Marvel's Spider-Man 3? Is Insomniac going to go the route of keeping Osborn normal looking but with super strength and a cool looking suit like they did with the Green Goblin in the Raimi Spider-Man movies? Are they going to make Green Goblin fully mutated in appearance, or are they going to do the monster Green Goblin? My hope is that they do one of the first two, but personally I'd love to see Green Goblin a fully mutated character in appearance. And there are a couple reasons I say that. For starters, I just prefer the look, but also I think it would make sense from a story perspective. Let's really think about Norman. Yes, he is a scientist, but he seems to cut corners. In Marvel's Spider-Man 2, he is already frantically trying to create a cure for Harry and is constantly failing at it. I'd like to see him test out a formula or the G serum in Marvel's Spider-Man 3 and have the test go horribly wrong, which gives him the super strength that he's looking for, but will drive him mad and completely change his appearance. This of course is my preference for the look of Green Goblin, but I also think it would be cool to have him look completely normal with a cool looking suit and mask. Either of these would pretty much work. And I do have to be realistic here, even though I'd love to see a mutated Goblin, it's more likely that we're going to have a suited Green Goblin with a mask, just because there were some prototypes for the mask and suit designs as well as glider designs found at Norman's penthouse in the first game. But either way, I'll be happy as long as it's not the monster Green Goblin. When it comes to Green Goblin in this game, I really want this to be a revenge mission for Norman. I want to see a fully manic Green Goblin fueled by his hatred for the Spider-Man. I think it would be cool to have our first interaction with Green Goblin to be with us using Miles. As we know, Norman wants both of the Spider-Man, and he's out for blood. I think it'd be cool if early on in this game, Green Goblin appears out of nowhere. Perhaps Miles is swinging and gets knocked out of the air by a pumpkin bomb or even the glider, and this leads us to our first showdown with the Green Goblin. Only Miles ends up getting seriously hurt in this interaction. This would bring our boy Peter Parker out of retirement, and it would also allow us to have control of Peter Parker's Spider-Man for the majority of the game, as Miles is sidelined. And I also want to talk about the balancing for the character of Green Goblin in this game. He should in fact be the main focus of this game. He should be the main antagonist. Actually, I know there are a lot of characters that are already established in this universe, but I'd really like to see most of the time spent on Peter and building up this epic battle between Green Goblin and Spider-Man. We are potentially wrapping up Peter's story in this game, and I want to see these two characters get the majority of the spotlight. This is a very personal story for both characters. Norman is seeking out revenge for what he believes Spider-Man did to Harry, and Norman is also the father of Peter's best friend. Norman even went as far as to say that he saw Peter as a son. This could be a really emotionally heavy story, so in my opinion, we don't need a ton of spotlight on any other villains. Green Goblin should really be the main focus, and I think Doc Ock would work as a supporting villain. However, I would like to see Doc Ock redeemed at some point during this game. Alright, so next I want to talk about this final fight between Peter and Norman. As I said before, I think that this fight should just be between these two characters. No need for Miles on this one. And I had to bring up this great idea by my friend Rock Rider. He posted an image of what the anti-Goblin suit should be like, and he really nailed it. The classic suit needs to be the final boss suit in this game. Again, we are wrapping up this trilogy and we need to finish where we started by throwing this suit back on. Perhaps Peter's advanced suit 3.0 gets pretty damaged in this game and he has to dig the classic suit out of the closet for this final showdown. Also, I just want to shout out Rock Rider real quick for being one of the pillars of this community. He is actually where I got the thumbnail for this video, so definitely go show him some love. But when it comes to the final fight, I would really like to see Insomniac go all out. The final boss fights of the first 2 games felt very contained within specific locations. However, I'd love to see a boss fight in the 3rd game that takes us across all of New York City. I want to see a chase between Green Goblin across the city as he causes destruction. And to throw another layer of difficulty in this final fight, you would need to save people who are in trouble while trying to also catch the Green Goblin. I want to literally have this epic fight right in the heart of New York City with destruction being done everywhere that really takes us across multiple locations. So those are just a few key points I really wanted to touch on for Green Goblin. There is really so much more time to theorize in the coming years, but as I stated before, I'm talking about Spider-Man 3 now because this is the perfect time to voice our feedback and ideas before the game gets heavily into development. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave a comment on the video so we can discuss, and as always, I will catch you guys on the next one.